Okay, Rabotai, so we have with us today Richard, Israel, Daniel, Nathan, and Jeff. Newcomers, as usual, we have with us Yaakov and Reuven Isgelov himself. We want just you guys to go ahead and introduce yourselves. Richard, you can start with yourself.
My name is Richard Rothkopf. I go by Yitzhak Rothkopf. My nickname is Spike, and it's a pleasure to have a chance to meet all of you. Thank you.
Richard, I want to ask you a question. Were you always religious, or you came to religion like me?
No, I got bar mitzvahed, and I forgot about rabbis in temple for about 30 years.
Oh.
And some guy that owns first-class transportation trucking, he's kind of handsome, smiling. He recruited me with another guy about 3 years ago, and for a year, I'm pretty into the deal right now with you guys.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is there anything that brought you closer to Hashem? Is there something that happened?
Yeah, I had some pain in my life. I have 34 years sober. I'm a very big stalker in AA. So rabbis didn't like the fact that I got on my knees for 32 years. And I never get on my knees again. So anachnu korim, I bow. Yes, Jack helped me to the door of, and I'm grateful to Jack and to you guys. Thank you.
Beautiful. Nathan, you are next.
It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Nathan Aronoff. I go by Nathanael in Hebrew. Is there anything specific?
Yes, I want to just know religion backwise. If you guys came to religion yourself or through something happening, chas v'shalom, you know. A lot of times people come to Hashem after something bad happens.
Well, with me, I always had some connection through family and parents. My family was always traditional. But what made me closer was Chabad.
Very nice.
Living in Germany, I would visit Chabad very often. And that's how I started. And from there, I started growing more into it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Jeff, big man, Jeff.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Go ahead, Jeff. Introduce yourself.
I'm Jeff Safiev. You guys call me Ephraim for these 20 minutes over here. As I tell the rabbi every time he sees me in shul, calls me Jeff. You gotta stop doing that. You as a rabbi gotta call me Ephraim, rabbi.
You're right. But it's mutual, you know. It's out of love, nothing personal.
Yeah, of course, 100%. God bless you. Yeah, I'm very excited for this, actually. I was very surprised to see this invite. So 20 minutes a day, I mean, you can't go wrong.
Ephraim, tell me. Ephraim, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Tell me, I know your brother, David Akon, he Baruch Hashem, he learns in the house of Torah, very big Talmid Chacham in his own right. What brought you to Hashem? Your brother, he was learning, you know, I know him from already a young age, but yourself, what brought you closer to Hashem?
To be completely honest with you, a lot of people come to Hashem when something is wrong. For me, it was the opposite. I came to Hashem after all the blessings of my life. So I came to give thanks.
Beautiful.
That's what made me start going to shul and putting on tefillin every day and so forth. Because I'm blessed.
Very nice. Baruch Hashem, that's also beautiful. Israel, with you?
What's going on, guys? My name is Israel Mastov. I think I became a little bit more closer to Hashem after I got married to my wife. That's when I really started keeping Shabbat. I started keeping kosher. And, you know, little by little, I feel like every single day you're trying to get better still, you know, trying to learn and trying to be a good person still. There's a lot to grow,
right.
A lot of room to grow and, you know, become better. So, Bezrat Hashem, with Hashem's help, hopefully we
so
can
your wife,
follow Reuben's path.
So your wife pushes you to become better?
I feel like, you know, my wife was more religious than I was before I got married. So, you know, that kind of helped a lot. You know, yeah, she does, you know, she bakes challah every week and stuff. So I learned a lot from her. So, you know,
beautiful.
I'm very blessed.
One of the hardest things today is when a guy grows and the woman don't grow, so they feel that they're left behind. But that's not true. Our rabbis of blessed memory tell us that when a guy grows, whatever spiritual level he reaches, the wife is automatically growing with him. So if you're going to grow because of her, she's automatically connected with you, which is very nice. Not a lot do you see where the husband and wife, they work together, right? It says, Ezer Kenegdo. What does it mean, Ezer Kenegdo? That the wife, she can either be a helper for him or against him. She can actually work against you. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, a lot of women, they make some certain guys' lives miserable. I mean, I go through a lot of couples with divorces and everything. It's very, very hard. They feel, they make the money. What do I need a husband for? They raise the kids. That's a very big problem. So it's very nice that you are able to work with your wife. Kol hakavod. We got also Gregory and two others. I don't know who Gregory is. Gregory, you want to show yourself?
Unmute yourself, Greg. Rabbi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Greg? Can I see you? Greg, how nice to see you.
I see you.
I see you very well. How are you?
You see?
I see you. Can you introduce yourself?
Good. Huh?
Can you introduce yourself?
Introduce yourself. Gregory is the love here.
Okay, Greg, we're going to start. I'm going to share with you guys a little...
This is my first day of school.
First day of school. Very nice. Greg, if you don't mind, are you close with Hashem?
Spiritually, yes, Rabbi.
Working your way there?
Working my way there.
Unfortunately...
One mitzvah at a time.
Yes. Unfortunately, I came to religion. I came to the realization that, that there's a God in the world. I would say at the age of 21 or 23 when my grandfather passed away. I realized, when they were burying, I think it was the NBA finals or semifinals, the conference finals, Pacers, I think, against the Knicks. And I remember my parents telling me, your grandfather passed away. So I said, so therefore what? Like, I was very far from Hashem. I said, so therefore what? What am I supposed to do now? How does that do anything for me? But when we went to bury him in Cooper Avenue, that was the most scariest moment, where they buried him inside the ground. And I said to my father, I said, what, this is the whole life? This is it? Like 5 minutes, the whole ceremony was done. He said, this is it. I said to myself, if this is what we're living for, to build, to make money and children and wife, and just to die and be buried, I said to myself, I have to start looking into something else. It's not going to go like that. And from there, I started building on my religion. I started, at the age almost of 23, I started learning about religion. At the age of 26, when I technically got married, when my wife, she actually turned me completely around. Almost at the age of 31, I started learning halachot. And from there and on, like you just said, step at a time. It didn't happen overnight. But I'm talking about it right now, at least a good 20 years into religion, Baruch Hashem. So it's very unfortunate, sometimes when we...
Rabbi,
yeah.
can you, if you don't mind, maybe just kind of black it out, but can you show them the picture of yourself on your photo ID? Just for them to kind of get a glimpse of who you were in the past, so that they can understand that there's a very big connection. One second.
So if I can do it, then we can do it. But we have.
I gotta tell you guys. So we visited. I mean, we all know the friend. Many of us know the friend. And we visited him in the hospital. And when I saw his photo ID, when we had to check in the hospital, I was shocked. What kind of man he was, and what kind of man he is today. Thug life. Wow.
So
did you have like a skin fade over there, Rabbi?
No, I don't have a skin fade. My hair.
That looks like gold teeth and fade.
No goatee. But I'll tell you something. Unfortunately, Baruch Hashem, I never did drugs. I never chas v'shalom went out. I never slept with women chas v'shalom. These things my father, my parents told me not to do. But unfortunately, I did have a lot of friends. I had Spanish friends, black friends, had a lot of American friends. And growing up in high school, Farsh's High School, I went to 117, 217, Hillcrest, Jump Bound, Farsh's High School. All these schools, all you had is fights, back and forth. So unfortunately, Reuven, back then, if you wanted to survive, you had to. We walk into if I was by myself and I would walk into the bathroom in the school, I would come out without a JanSport. Remember those book bags, JanSport? Or those puffed up jackets we had? You walk into the bathroom with it, you come out without it. But Baruch Hashem, I'll tell you something, Baruch Hashem, and I tell you something, when you see today children that are not on the derech, when you see today children that are not behaving, don't give up hope on them, never. Because you never know. Everybody has their own time. Everybody has to go through a certain path in life just to come close to Hashem. We never know that. I don't know that. You don't know that. That's why you always have to have a attentive ear to the children or to somebody or to your surroundings. Okay, Rabotai, it was very nice to get introduction from you guys. Now we're going to start learning. I want to share with you today, this mitzvah, it's one of the most hardest mitzvahs to do and has nothing with you. Meaning you don't have to do anything physically. I'm not speaking about tefillin, I'm not speaking about kippah, I'm not speaking about tzitzit. But over here, Rav David Yosef Shlita, he brings down and he says like this. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid hu klal gadol batorah. There's a phrase that a person should always put in front of him, that Hashem is constantly in front of him. Greg, you're with me?
I'm with you.
Can you imagine always living such a lifestyle when I don't want to say see, but where I envision that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always in front of me? One of the most hardest things to do, even when a person is learning Torah, even when a person is doing mitzvot and praying, one of the hardest things to do is to remember it is God that commanded us to do it. It's not just, you're just doing it just to get over with it. You have to have that understand that it's you, Hashem, that commanded me. The reason why I'm learning, the reason why I'm doing mitzvot, the reason why I got married, the reason why I do a lot of things is only because you, Hashem, commanded me. And he says over here, this attribute you will find by the righteous people that walk before Hashem constantly. It's a very, very high level. But the interesting thing is, this is brought down in the beginning of the in the Halach and the Shulchan Aruch. You guys with me?
Yep.
So I want to share with you, there is a Mishnah Berurah in the Biur Halacha. There are 6 constant mitzvot. I'm only going to do one with you, and hopefully in the following class we'll go on every other one because there's 6 of them. And I want to just share with you the first one, and I'm going to read it for you in Hebrew and translate it. He says over here, anybody who wants to fulfill the mitzvah of placing Hashem before him properly, you want to be diligent in fulfilling what's written in the book called Sefer HaChinuch. It's a book. He brings down over here, because it was so dear in the eyes of the great rabbis, they would make a small note out of it, like a pamphlet, 6 constant mitzvot, and then they would go ahead and they would keep it and they would have it with them constantly. Rabotai, listen what he says. This is the language of the Sefer Chinuch. Shesh mitzvot chiyuvan timidi. There are 6 constant mitzvot which the obligation on us is constant. Like you can't take your mind off it, and it's very hard to do. Again, nothing physical. I'm not doing anything. It's all in the mind. But the problem is, one thing people don't like to do is to use their head. People just, especially men, just leave us alone. When the wife tells you, babe, you got to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do, like, just one thing at a time. Don't throw we section, let's do one thing. After we finish one thing, tell me the other. So it's very hard for us to use our mind, and this whole mitzvah is about your mind, because wherever your mind is, that's where you are. So he says like this, it shouldn't leave you even for one moment all the days of your life. These 6 constant mitzvot that we're going to speak about. But listen to this beautiful piece. Every single time you're going to think about these 6 constant mitzvot, you're doing a positive commandment. Every single moment. Can you imagine what that is? If you guys put on tefillin for 20 minutes, you're putting on tefillin. For 20 minutes, you did mitzvah of tefillin. But when it comes to this mitzvah, this 6 constant mitzvot, every second that I think about it, I'm getting rewarded. And the reward is infinite. There's no end for this. So even if I'm in a bus stop and I'm thinking about this mitzvah, automatically I'm doing a positive command, like putting on tefillin, honoring my parents, wearing tzitzit, keeping Shabbat. Automatically I'm doing mitzvah just by using your head. So he says, we're going to go with one of them. Rabotai, this one, we all know, but it's very hard to do. Here we go. La'amin sheyesh Eloha echad ba'olam shimtzi kol hanimtzaot. We have to believe that there's one God in the world that created everything that you see in the world. If I ask you guys honestly, when was the last time you drove with your family? I had to take my son to the doctor to check out his arm, and we had to drive for an hour. So my son's like, Abba, can I take your phone to play the game? I said, why don't you look at the beautiful creation? And we drove, I don't know where we went upstate, it was like an hour drive. But when you look at the mountains, when you look at the trees, when you look at the sky, the sun, isn't it beautiful? When do we stop? When do we stop and say, wow, Hashem, your creation is amazing? When do we ever stop that?
Right.
You guys are with me?
Yeah.
So he says,
my second grade teacher would always say, stop and smell the roses.
Say it again.
My second grade teacher would always say, stop and smell the roses.
But Reuven, the sad part is that's so simple, so true. When I went on a diet, and I started, so I didn't want to use my car, so I started walking. So for the first time, I took my daughter to go to the store, not far, 5-10 minutes walk. It was nuts how much she had to tell me. Little one, what, 8 years old, 10 years, I don't know how old she is. She had so much to tell me. If just to spend that time, with her is worth it, And unfortunately, we don't have that. The world wants to rob us from that family time, from that enjoying the world. We're always on our phone. Where are we going to be? Everything's in the media, unfortunately, today. But Rabotai, this is what we have to go ahead and try to break. So that's what he says over here, and he says, whatever Hashem desires is going to be from now until forever. He took us out of Egypt and he gave us the Torah. Greg, you want to listen to something funny? Let me ask you, you believe that Hashem took us out of Egypt? You feel it inside? I don't feel it. We don't know because we were never there. We.
Greg, you're on mute. Why does it do that? I do believe it. I don't know how much I feel it,
right.
Rabbi.
We believe it.
Believe it.
Right. We believe it, but we don't actually feel it. And the real problem is because if we pay close attention, when Hashem took us out of Egypt, and then He gave us the Torah, the whole purpose of taking us out of Egypt was to be able to serve Him and nothing else. And this is what we have to, this is the muscles, like our emotions, our feelings, our mind, we have to go ahead and strengthen. But we don't do that. We're so occupied. And I'm not telling you to do it 24 hours, 7 days a week now. But do you have 5 minutes or even 30 seconds in a day where you just stop everything and you say, something, Hashem, thank you for this, thank you. I'm going to try to do better. I messed up over there. Like, do we converse with Him? We converse more with our phone or with our friends than we do with Hashem. Because we know, we believe, but it's not really in us. It's not really in us. And that's what we have to take it out. I came to Jamaica State. They moved me from Jamaica State from Broward to Jamaica State. So somebody came up to me, he said, listen, you could come out of Broward, but the hood is still in you. Somebody told me that. Get it?
It's definitely the hood over there.
You have to go ahead and you have to be able to work on yourself, which is not an easy feat. It's not. Rabbi Shah Salanter says a person can learn Shas, which is a lot of work, it's a great accomplishment. He could learn all of Shas, but to break one character trait is one of the hardest things to do. So it's really, a person has to go ahead and try to work on himself. And we're going to conclude with this, and he says, and he brings down over here, he says, you should know, you should know and you should believe that there is a God that supervises everything that happens in this world, since He took you out of Egypt. So now that we know Hashem took us out of Egypt, we can't have any claims, chas v'shalom. You can't get upset with people because Hashem supervises everything that happens on a general level and also on an individual level. Rabbi Nissim again says, I'm talking about at least 6, 7, or 10 years before, because he actually died. He says a lot of us think, is the president, is the Hamas, it's, Netanyahu. We're missing the bigger picture. It's not. It's HaKadosh. Hashem does everything. Hashem has to get the Jewish people to a certain point. He's going to do everything in His power. He's going to use this person, that person, that person. It's like we're on strings. He's going to use us to get to the final destination. So that's why one of the things we have to do, if a person goes ahead and he knows and he believes that there's one God in the world, every single time you think about it, you're fulfilling a positive commandment from the Torah. I'm telling you, just sitting at home, just relaxing, or you went so you don't want to be with certain people, just think, wow, there's a God in the world. Thank God that there's a God in the world. There's justice, there's laws, it gives you that reassurance. And I had a lot of guys that come up to me and they say, Rabbi, my wife attacks me, my mother-in-law says this, it's not them. It's not them. Hashem wants to go ahead and He wants to improve you through them. Like we give the very simple example. When you hit a dog with a stick, the dog attacks the stick. That's why the Gemara says that the end of before Mashiach comes, the last generation is going to be like the dog. What does that mean, Jigari, like the dog? What do you mean? We're human. No. Because whatever happens to us, we're going to believe is that person. It's like the stick. But we're forgetting that that person is the stick in the hands of Hashem. We're forgetting that it's actually Hashem doing it. And that's one of the hardest things to actually do. And the truth is, if you try to do it, you should start trying this with the wives. Jigari, it ain't easy. But it's worth it, Richard. It's not easy, guys. I try to be, I'm very straightforward. Huh? Not your wife. I know, not your, nobody's wife.
Your wife.
Rich.
Listen, you guys have any questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, I have a question.
For commercial property.
Who said Broward's the hood?
Yeah, Jeff, you really want...
Hey,
Rich, you're on mute. Rich,
Broward is Jamaica, states of Jamaica, all right? Broward is the good side.
Richard, what do you want to say, Richard? I can hear you, Richard. You're on mute.
I appreciate you. I'm going to send you my text message.
Do you hear me better now?
I hear you. Yes.
You said we don't have to discuss it now, but tomorrow, if we could get to discuss it, you said it's very hard to make a change, right? Didn't you just say that?
Yes.
So you got to go to Hashem. I'd like to learn more about how you guys go to Hashem to make changes, because we're all human beings.
Correct.
So I want to know how you go to Hashem to make changes, because I know how I do it.
Richard, so I tell you something, it's not, there's no right or wrong answer in this. The Chavetz Chaim, you heard of the Chavetz Chaim? So the Chavetz Chaim was a humongous rabbi. He says one way to start working on yourself, and probably the only way, is through learning ethical books. Where you really have to sit down with yourself, take out it's called a Musar book, and just, be real with yourself. Where am I not doing good? I'll be honest with you. My two hardest things when it comes to serving God, you know what the two hardest, I can't do it? I mean, I could do, but it's hard. I don't know why, but it's hard. When I go to sleep, before you go to sleep, you have to say Kriya Shema Lamita. You guys know that, right? You have to say Shema before you go to sleep. Yes, Richard, you with me?
I'm with you, but I didn't think we should talk about this because we have little children on the website.
No, they're fine. No. Richard, okay, we could speak about it tomorrow. No problem. We could speak about it tomorrow. But I tell you something, when it comes to change, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens through learning. It happens through a lot of exertion on your part.
Rabbi, in a school of addiction or alcoholism, we can't make any changes until the man or the woman is in enough pain to create the environment that they'll do whatever Hashem or their sponsors or their teachers like you and Ruben and Jack and you men are already teachers for me. So I want to learn how I add this to what I'm already doing. That's all.
So are you saying, Richard, you want to learn how to change, or you're saying how do we change?
No, neither. I'm saying that I live a moral and ethical life, although I haven't always lived a moral and ethical life. Even in the last 3, 4, 5 years, I've had sins.
Right.
But most days I no longer have sins.
Okay.
Thank God.
Right. So what's the question? I just need to catch on the question.
So you said that you said about 5-6 minutes ago, I was picked up on it. You said the hardest thing to do is to make changes in someone's life.
No, the hardest
You
thing.
said-
No. So I maybe okay. So the
Go
hard.
to Hashem to change, and then you said the way you do that is with ethical books.
Correct.
That's what you said.
Correct. So what I'm saying, Richard, is what I was saying before also, that it's harder to not, I'm not saying to stay away from sin. I'm saying it's harder to change a character trait. It's easier to learn the whole Torah than to change one character trait. That's what I'm saying. For example, to work on...
If you're in enough pain, change comes to be a good decision.
Right, and unfortunately...
Right, the pain forces the
Correct.
behavior.
Correct. I hear.
Sure not.
I hear you. Okay. I hear you, Richard. Anyone else? Yaakov, you're quiet. Ruben, Chata, you're very quiet. Guys, you guys are all good?
I hear what Richard is saying. I think he's saying it more from a perspective of the shoes that he's walked, which we totally understand.
Right.
And I think if he can learn more ways of applying that for the people that he's mentoring today, will be very, very helpful, which I'm pretty sure we can kind of discuss and put something together for the next lessons.
Bezrat Hashem, no problem. No problem, Chigarik.
But no, I think this was super helpful. We even had Moshe Izgalov join in as well. Michael Izgalov is here as well. So thank you so much. And Solomon Lieberman. So hopefully maybe tomorrow we can have them introduce themselves as well.
Okay, Bezrat Hashem.
Wow,
Rabbi,
it's growing,
thank you.
it's
Thank
growing
you.
very fast. Rabbi, thank you. And I just wanted to say that all week we've been marketing, Ruben and I, that you're doing a giveaway. That's why we have all these guys joining.
No.
So we'll save the giveaway to this video.
He's kidding.
He's giving away blessings, Rabbi. Give blessings to everybody. Have everybody.
That's what exactly what he's giving away.
Amazing.
Thank you
No,
guys.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
No problem, guys. No problem.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Take care.
Rabbi, it was nice seeing you, Rabbi.
Nice to see you, Nathan. Nice to see you guys.
All the best. Bye.
Bye. Rabbi.